Hi, I'm Hal Habecker for Finishing Well Ministries. As you know, as children, we are heavily influenced by our parents. We learn values, morals, and priorities simply watching how our dads and moms act and react every day. Julie Hess was blessed with godly parents and grandparents. They taught her to use the gifts God gave her to benefit others. And Julie learned well. For 70 years, she has been blessing others with acts of kindness. And in doing so, she's become a role model for her own children and grandchildren, passing on the lessons she's learned to the next generations.
I grew up in Illinois. My grandmother was the superintendent of the Sunday school at the Methodist church where we went. And she was just the most delightful person, just very encouraging, just this wonderful woman. My dad encouraged me to think about going into special ed because I had always said I wanted to be a teacher. I would help teaching Sunday school with my grandmother and different things. So I ended up going into special ed, working with hearing impaired. I watched my parents be really giving people, and I guess I've just always felt like I've been so blessed that it's just part of my nature to want to give back. And so some of those things I learned from my grandparents, my mom, I just have wanted to pass on, like writing notes to people or cards or taking a meal. I saw that modeled for me, and so it just seemed natural. But I get a lot of joy from doing things for others. I try to just listen to what's mentioned when I'm at church, who's had surgery, or if there's been a death, or just someone that's maybe struggling a little bit. And then I try to remember when I get home. Sometimes I make a list to just drop them a line. I just try to let them know that we're thinking about them, lifting them up in prayer, and just want to be supportive. We have this wonderful care team. Every time somebody has a new baby, there are 6 meals that are taken. I really like that because you get to go see the new baby. You see where they live. You maybe take something for the siblings so they don't feel left out. And so that's just an easy way to reach out to a family, but in a time where they're maybe struggling to get a meal on the table. When we came to the church, I thought I want to meet people, so I need to join the women's Bible study. I've stayed with some of those women ever since. And someone else was leading the table, and I was became her helper. But then she said one year, well, let's switch and you be the lead. And it has been such a blessing. I feel like I can use the gift of encouragement with the women, that's really very important to them, that I keep up with prayer requests, prayer needs, that sort of thing, and just show an interest and include them in this group of women that we have become so close. Ginger has MS. I don't even know how long I've been seeing Ginger. It started out taking a meal, and she always wants to say the prayer before we eat. And so I go on Wednesday and take lunch and just visit and kind of bring in some of the outside world to Ginger and come away feeling very blessed. I kind of try to entertain her with stories from school, my schoolwork, or the family. So I just try to think of ways to bring in things to her to just help her not feel so isolated. I retired in 2004. Then they had asked me to come to Enterprise City. It was for 2 days a week. Enterprise City is a little city, and students learn about running a business, having a checking account, filling out a job application, all kinds of real life situations. Kids think it's just fun because they get paid 3 times. They get to spend that money. And if they're overdrawn at the end of the day, we take things back from them so that they learn they can't spend more money than they have. The thing I really like to do is work in the bank. I help the bank president, the owners of the businesses come and get a loan, and then during the day they try to pay that loan down and possibly make a profit. And then also all the students will come through the bank 3 times to deposit their check. We have Play Enterprise City money. We have dollar bills and quarters. If I would have thought what I would be doing at age 74, I would never have thought that I would still be working, that I would be involved with different things, that I would be enjoying young women as much as I do. We have 2 boys. They each have 3 children. And then we have a great-grandson who's 14 months. I enjoy having one-on-one time because I think you can really have better conversations. And I recently have been talking to my granddaughter because she has not been baptized, the 9-year-old. One of my granddaughters, who's 15, she and I have spent quite a bit of time together. So she will share things from school, just some of the pressures and stress that she feels like she's under with grades and other kinds of things. There's just so many places where you can use the gifts God has given you to bless others and then be blessed in return. There's so many opportunities. Could be a neighbor, could be a neighbor child that would just like to come to your house and, be special, make cookies with you, play with toys. So it's just amazing to me what can be ahead of you that you wouldn't expect. You just kind of learn how the Lord's going to be with you all the way on the journey.
God has given each one of us talents and gifts. And in your retirement years, let me encourage you to think about and identify what your gifts are. There are so many opportunities, simple acts, giving to others. It doesn't take a lot of effort to drop somebody a card like Julie does, to pay a visit to someone who is lonely or disabled, or to spend some one-on-one time with a child, listening to them, helping them with the challenges and situations they may be facing in life, just like Julie Hess. And like her, you too will find that you're the one who's blessed in return by finishing well.